Here with Waga,
Hey, man.
the qualifier wild card day,
Yes.
right? And then this is the first day where you can relax, but tomorrow you're gonna have a lot on your plate. Right?
Oh, yeah. Today I only cast. It was a best of 3 series, went all the games, but tomorrow is a lot of games.
And then for the main event, you're gonna be doing analyst desk.
Yeah.
Who's on the desk with you?
I'm actually not sure. They haven't released the full schedule on who's going to be on the desk and when, but I mean, only expect that we'll see Winter. Nahas is going to come. He's not here for the group stage, so he's going to be joining later.
Okay. And what's this year different than last year?
Yeah.
What's different?
I mean, the main part, I guess, is that we're actually here downtown now and not in Bellevue in the beginning. But it just feels a lot more serious. Every team having their own rooms for the scrims and for the games. Feels good.
7 or 8 million more.
Yeah, I mean the prize money is a big part, but the organization, they put more time into it so that people actually have time for everything. I think in media days, like 4 media days now, they only had 2 before, and everything feels more.
I feel like
doable.
they stepped it up this year.
Yes.
They are, there's no, like last year, I was running around with Heyoka, with a camera guy.
Yeah.
And we were like trying to find space to do these.
Yeah, you're kidnapping people.
Yeah, and now, look at us now. Like,
you gotta
lighting, we got a backdrop, we got all this stuff, and honestly, this is not a very important part of TI. It is fun and people like watching them, but it's like not.
Yeah.
So they're putting a lot of care even into stuff like this,
Yeah, definitely.
So,
feels more like they're prepared for most things, basically because of.
Do you feel like there's a little bit more pressure on you guys to perform?
Yeah, definitely. Like there's
just like even the players, because there is competition for a very limited number of upper tier casting and analyst slots.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you guys are all friends, so it's nothing like animosity, but it's like it's there,
Yeah, I mean, everyone is friends talking at the dinner table or whatever, but there's definitely competition between everyone, for sure. In the casting world is tough, especially for the main casters. There are a lot of casters out there working hard all year, so it's tough.
I feel like when you compare, you have some experience in pro playing too, but when you compare the two aspects of it, qualifying for TI, there's a little mini qualifier for TI in the casting world also.
Yeah,
and
you could say so.
Yeah, and sometimes it's even harsher than being a player in the sense that you could pretty much play a perfect game and still,
It's I don't know how to say it. A lot of things, both in competitive gaming and in casting, everything comes down to, being good at it, being lucky, and having connections. Those are 3 components in both of these things. But I don't know. It's the same thing though for players about invites to TI, that they're kind of, they don't know if they're gonna be invited or not based on their performance. They can assume that they won't be. And it's the same for casters. You don't know anything. We got here. I didn't know who I was kind of cast with when I was on the plane on the way to TI. So I was like, okay, they gave me an invitation. Do you want to cast a TI? I'm like, yes. And they're like, good. We'll talk to you later.
Does anyone say no?
Yeah, I don't think anyone would.
And there's better functioning pairs this year. Much more clear structure. But there's also clearly a casting not I wouldn't say hierarchy, but that you can tell they thought it out well in advance, right? So, for you, you stream a lot. You were briefly on a team, right?
Yeah. I'm still playing with 4CL a lot.
Yeah.
We're not, there's some, small tournament that wants to collide over TI, but basically everything else stops during TI. So being here doesn't really affect that. And
so, you have your foot a little bit in both, camps.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible to, straddle that, or are you going to be, next year, are you going to just focus on one thing?
Yeah, for now, it depends on how serious it gets. If we start getting invites to or qualifying to the big events, then I would definitely put down my streaming more and maybe stream, a few days a week. Right now I stream every day that I'm at home. I don't really take many break days. So.
And you got the high sub count. You got to maintain that.
Yeah, you definitely want to give as many hours out there as possible for the people who support you. But at the same time, when I'm playing a team, if we have games, I'm always there. However, as we're playing right now, we don't like to play games before official matches because we like to go in and play some pubs or whatever and then go into official. Then we can scrim afterwards or something. We don't like scrimming before games.
So, I think you Your position is pretty unique in the sense that I think that all the co-caster analysts are almost entire. They're not.
They're dedicated.
Right,
they're full time into it.
Do you think that, like, in order to be the best analyst you can be or the best co-caster you can be, do you think is it possible to do what you're doing?
To be the best co-caster, I think that you definitely gain a lot by still scrimming and playing games. Like some of the teams that are playing here I have scrimmed against, and this gives me some insight just there, but also just being current. Because if you have experience in competitive Dota, but it's very old and outdated, things change.
Every patch,
everyone suffers this. Like, suddenly you hear something like, oh, that doesn't work that way anymore. Just playing a lot of competitive games, especially scrims, you learn so much and stay updated on the patch. So I think that can help you as a co-caster. But when it comes to just how you word things and being able to match well with your main caster, you should have a pair that you cast with a lot. I haven't cast with Toby since TI3, I think.
It's a throwback.
Yeah.
You get back. Well, I like that combo. So
yeah,
is Toby one of the guys you like casting with the most?
Yeah, definitely.
Who else are you comfortable with?
Capitalist was actually the one I expected that we would cast with, because TI4 we felt it worked really well. We had a good time during the entire group stage, and we were just expecting that sort of. But then they were with Blitz and Capitalist working really well. Also, Blitz is casting a lot of games at the main stage.
He's got the most, I think.
Yeah, he's casting with LD and Toby.
Blitz is gunning him and Cinderin,
Yeah. No, they are amazing co-casters as well. So I think they do a really good job.
It's heating up.
Yeah.
So
like, Blitz is putting a lot of effort into being a really good co-caster, and so is Cinderin now, I believe, as well.
And like, pro players retiring and playing and doing casting is a thing that's going to happen more and more.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the immediate future since the prize pools are so good and majors are coming out and all that stuff. But
people still get older and maybe get out of the especially the uncertainty of being in a tier 2-ish or semi tier 1 team. Because there's a lot of uncertainty going on. Your sponsorship may be something decent, but not something you can live off. So you need to always win every month of the week, a month of the year. You need to secure that you have an income, and maybe someone will take the chance to just be a co-caster, as they could do really well with.
Well, I mean, like Dota, like most non super professional sports is very top heavy in terms of the distribution of prizes to teams. No matter what tournaments do to combat that, like maybe the distribution different, you're gonna have a team secret that wins 4 straight. Like, that's just what happens. Like, a team gets really good and they're just gonna win a whole bunch of lands.
Exactly. There's gonna be the people who pick up the biggest chunk. Yeah.
So like literally we have secret taking like 80% of the prize pool of like the last like big things in the last like
they've been
4 or 5
taking
months,
a lot.
Like, that is like feast or famine. If you're not
a bit, but at the same
5,
time, I've been playing Dota for 12 years or something. So I've seen the development of, from first TI being announced and people hearing, oh, it's gonna be $50,000 in the first prize of TI, and people are like, no way, that's a scam. Like that. People, no one believed that $50,000 could be the first prize of TI, and now it's actually the last prize of TI. Yeah. So that's insane development, and that was just what people believed.
Like what Chinese team didn't actually believe that $1 million just didn't come?
Yeah.
One of the teams actually just didn't believe it and didn't come to TI1. But
a little bit of a hindsight mistake there.
They could have. There's only so many players that can go to every TI.
Yeah.
And I think there's like less than 10 now, I think.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people anymore that have been to every TI.
A bunch of guys from IG.
Yeah.
And then like Misery and like. Who else was it? I'm trying to remember. Like Dandy and like Puppy and like those guys. Very close for Navi this year, actually. Like almost.
Yeah. Well, that was insane actually watching them, because prior to the qualifiers they were having kind of a they were weak. They were actually in the slump.
They pulled it together right at the end.
They did.
So.
And they showed strength there, and I've been talking a lot to Dandy and just hanging with the people as well. And they're not going in with the same amount of confidence that they have previous years, of course.
There's quite something to be said about not having the pressure on you. I think like there's
a weight off your shoulder.
People want Navi to do well, but they're not like, no one is like, Navi's gonna fucking crush them.
No, definitely, and I think that's really good as well, because they've always, when you talk to them in previous TIs, it's like, oh, we have to go again and try to get to grand finals again. Like especially TI3. And then TI4, they felt the same kind of pressure, and it didn't work out that well. But yeah, I think this year everyone is just impressed that they already qualified, and now going into the qualifiers, going to TI as a qualifier, you have a little bit of a confidence boost.
So all these co-casters that were former pro players, do you think they would trade it all instantly to be playing?
Yeah, I mean, if they could trade it to be playing and know that they could perform as well as any of the top players right now, yeah, in an instant.
Well, okay, well, that's a pretty big qualifier.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, like, would you... But the uncertainty being in, like, the, you know, wild card maybe, you know,
yeah.
Is it still, like...
I mean, if one of the established, like, let's say Blitz or one of the established co-casters would trade what they have now and the stability that they have in their lives for being, you know, at least in a wild card to TI.
Close.
Like, that's the cutting edge, right? It's hard to say. Going to TI, that's the...
Yeah. And you know, like, for professional players in other sports, you know, you hear them talk about after they retire and they're, like... They miss it so much, you know, like 'cause you can't get it anywhere else, right?
Oh, everyone is like overly competitive.
Yeah. It's like a high and a like kind of like a thing that you just can't experience anywhere else.
Yeah, no, it's the sensation of playing in a tournament and winning and knowing that, you know, people that like you and support you are watching and you just showed that you could win that game. That's like a really strong feeling, and you feel so great when your team actually works well together.
And everyone's all happy and it's all great.
Then you have the depression, like...
Yeah, the opposite is like, it's a roller coaster. It's ups and downs.
It is.
Are the highs higher than the lows, though?
Yeah, for sure.
It's not even close.
Like, you can't possibly be as sad when you lose a game as you are happy when you take home a tournament, especially some major.
Well, I know a few people that might disagree with you about that.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I think that's very personal.
Yeah.
I think that's very much from people to people.
So, so has anything changed in your personal life since, I don't know, like last time we saw you? Any big events?
Well, casting this is very major for me. Other than that, not
did you
really.
think you were gonna get invited?
No, I didn't think that I was gonna go on cast. I already had booked my hotel and my tickets to TI.
Oh wow! Okay,
I have a general admission ticket to TI, and you know, I gave it away to a friend of a friend, and
you know, I let it ride. You know, I was like, if they don't invite me, I'm watching from home. You know, like I can't chance the.
Yeah, no, I felt like I really want to go there, and if I go there as a spectator, that will be fine. I will enjoy watching the event and talking to players. I will still, you know, socialize.
There's also it's like a network. Maybe not specific for you, but like you gotta be here if you're a player and you wanna.
Yes.
You know, because there's a
it's
pretty
like
big.
Like any business, just the networking is important if you look at it business perspective. But just being here is amazing. TI is an event. I mean, I was recently at ESL 1 and it was really fun to meet as many people there as possible, but TI has a special feel to it.
Yeah. And it's long, man.
Yeah. No,
3 weeks?
It's a long-lasting event. If you're here for the entire group stage and everything, it's
3 weeks.
Yeah.
And you know, when I checked in the hotel, that woman's like, you know, how long are you staying here with us? And I was like one of the first people to check in. I was like, oh,
11th
like 20 days, 20 nights. And she's like, and she looked at the thing and she's like, oh, actually, it's 20 nights, you know, like, it's pretty funny, actually.
What the hell?
Yeah, they usually don't.
Because it's a pretty expensive hotel as well. They put
it's a nice hotel. Yeah. Well, you know, this event, obviously, it's going to have its own little meta. And since you're not playing in the event, you can make your predictions.
I can openly, I can openly think. Because prior to the event, People Boot Camp, it's very hard to read it. But I think Bounty Hunter is already showing that he's first pick, first ban material. And that was very curious to me, because that was not the case in any of the qualifiers at all. And not the case in ESL 1. It's happened between this. So Bounty Hunter being so high rated, Undying is still played. Jared, like, a lot of them are still the same, honestly. We didn't see that much exciting new heroes. Ursa was played a little bit.
Techies.
But yeah.
As a Techies player,
dude, whenever Tusk is picked, you have to ban Techie. Like, that's actually how strong it is, I think. But if you don't have Tusk on your team, Techie is a little bit hard to get away with. I think you can punish it if you understand Techies pretty well. But I get happy when I see it.
You want to cast a Techies game?
And yeah, definitely. And I did get to cast a TA game, and I believe TA is still 100% win rate at TI at this point.
Wrecked in those qualifiers.
Every 3 of the teams picked it in the wildcards, and all 3 teams won with it.
And what do you think about QO's TA?
QO's TA? He plays it really good. He's a strong TA. I didn't see his game today, though. So
he was very farmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
yeah, I saw no one was casting when no one played it, and he played it really well as well. But no, there are many good TA players that play it, very well together with the team. It's interesting to see itemization that goes a lot of team fighting early on, some more BKBs and stuff. But overall, there was one missed kill where he could have sidebladed a guy and went for attacking the guy instead.
All right.
Well, yeah,
Okay. Okay. Well, let's give you your chance for your last words. Thank you for
my
sitting
last.
down.
My
Yeah,
last
your
words.
not last words, but like any words to your fans, supporters.
Thank you so much to everyone. Like, it was amazing to come back from my 2-week vacation and see that people are still, subscribed or supporting me. That is awesome. You guys rock. Other than that, I'm just, very, very happy to be here. I know some people are asking, why did I get an invite here? I don't know, guys. Like, I'm just here.
You have a call out to the haters?
Yeah, sure. Call out to Reddit. Actually, the haters there.
Okay, yeah.
They seem to hate me right now.
Right
but
now,
they're very shifty. They're
I think if
shifty people.
if you perform during the group stages, you'll win some of the haters over.
Maybe. Actually, I care more about the people that just want to enjoy the games than people who want to actively hate on different casters.
Okay.
I don't care about them.
All right.
It's more call
good
debate
mentality.
them.
Got it. Okay. Well, thanks for sitting down with us, Waga. It was a very, we fit a lot of words into this interview, so I'm happy we dropped some knowledge.
Yes.
Right. So good luck tomorrow.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Nice.